Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. Well, New Yorkers, what do they care about the most? Quality of life. With us today is Melinda Katz, and she is the District Attorney of the Borough of Queens, and she's going to give us an update. What the heck is going on in New York, and especially what's going on in Queens? Well, D.A. Katz, or, we know each other so long, I can call you Melinda. Tell us your experience of what's been going on the last year or so.
Well, good morning, John, and good morning to your listeners. The quality of life in New York City is really important to folks. And as the District Attorney of Queens County, I can tell you that violent crimes are down, shootings are down, homicides are down. But at the end of the day, a lot of things that affect everyone in New York City is a lot of this retail theft. And to catch people on the odd, number of of petty larcenies and taking things out of the stores, is a very difficult task to prosecute and very difficult for the police to come and find them all the time. So we put a lot of resources into catching a criminal conspiracy for stealing from Home Depot. There's nothing more frustrating, John, to New Yorkers than standing online to pay their bill after they had to get items from behind a glass case in a retail store. And then someone comes in, fills up a basket or fills up a duffel bag, and walks out the door, and you're still waiting to pay your bill. So at Home Depot, there was this huge ring that was going on. We have a 780-count indictment for stealing for 13 defendants. Over $2.2 million worth of goods from Home Depot were stolen right out of the stores, 128 Home Depot stores. And it was a 319 individual thefts, and it was a few-month investigation. But this ring was coming out of Queens County. They were meeting. They were figuring out what to steal from the website of Home Depot, and they were going in, and everyone else is paying the bill at the register. And so the unfairness of it, I could tell you crime is down in the city of New York, but to you, when you're standing on that line, it's at 100%. So we wanted to make sure that people knew that there was going to be accountability. The leader of the 13 is remanded in jail right now, and most of the others have very high bail. And because we want to make sure that people understand that there is accountability for stealing.
Absolutely. And, we're in the retail business ourselves. So we have Gristedes and D'Agostino stores in New York City. And we have similar problems. I mean, we have some people that steal from us, and been arrested 50 times, 60 times, 70 times. And it seems like right. They never go to jail. I mean, the joke I used to tell D.A. Katz is the fact is you can come in from New Jersey and steal all you want, and if you don't get caught, you go home for dinner. And if you do get caught, you still go home for dinner.
Well, in Queens County, we actually started, in addition to the long-term investigation, to make sure that people knew that there was accountability. Remember, every time you're stealing, it's also on video. And so we used video and surveillance and all of that for the Home Depot one. But we've also instituted in Queens County a trespass affidavit program. And it allows businesses to register for the program, and we have a combination with the police department. And if someone is committing things that are illegal in your store, in your retail store, harassing people, disruptive, dangerous, responding officers with a trespass affidavit will show up. And on their body cam, they will issue what's called a trespass notice that if you return to that particular store, you'll be arrested. And, it's interesting because 2,600 trespass notices have been issued in Queens County, and only 128 people return to that location. And with the people that return to the location, we actually vet them for many things. One is mental health illness, one is drug addiction, workforce development, and all of the things like that to try and make sure they never come back. But the trespass notice has been extremely useful tool for us. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it certainly is a tool that our stores, 446 stores now in Queens County, are utilizing.
That is wonderful news. What else do you want to tell the American people, all New Yorkers, and especially Queens County?
Well, I think it's important for people to know that we're actively getting the guns off the street and the gangs off the street. We did the largest gang takedown of any single gang in the history of Queens County last month. And I will tell you that what happens when we do that is that we see a noticeable decline of shootings right afterwards. And we've done it several times, taking the gangs off the street. Children should not believe that gangs are their chosen family, and we can't allow that to become the norm. So we do a lot of investigative work, spend resources getting the gangs off the street and the guns off the street. Interestingly enough, with all the ghost guns in the city of New York in last year, we took out the largest percentage of ghost guns in Queens, and it has a real effect on the community and in the neighborhood. First of all, people know that we're watching. And second, getting guns off the street is one more gun that's never going to kill someone or hurt somebody. And it's the right thing to do. And so we continue to do that. In addition to all the other things the office has instituted since I've been the DA, John, it's hard to believe I'm in my 7th year as District Attorney of Queens County. I completed 6 years already. I'm in my 7th year, so we were able to institute a lot of different programs. I do want to issue a warning, if I can, to your listeners also about cannabis. We have, whether one believes that cannabis should be legal or illegal is not really the issue. But when they go to shops that are not legal, we have absolutely no way of vetting the product. I get a lot of calls, John, from people who say, and they sold my child cannabis and they're underage, and the answer is, of course they sold it to them. They're illegal. So we have a huge, policy in this office, and we've been investigating the cannabis shops. We have, hundreds of shops that we have closed and padlocked. And so I just want to issue that warning to people. You don't know what you're buying when you go into an illegal shop.
Well, Melinda Katz, District Attorney of the Borough of Queens, thank you for updating all New Yorkers, and thank you for everything you've done for the last 100 years for all New Yorkers. And we'll catch up again real soon. I
appreciate it. Not 100 years for the record, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.